With this dashboard, you're able to whitelist aircraft. You're able to establish geofences and get notifications when there's a breach. And you're able to track UAS from your browser connected to an Edge Scout device. So if you have a Mini, you just connect it and follow the prompts that I will show you. If you have a Bravo, then you power it on and then follow the steps that I'm about to go through. So I have a Mini here, and I'm just going to simply plug it in, and I'm on a Chromium-based browser. When I do so, I get a pop-up asking if I'd like to claim this Edge Scout. I'm going to say yes. If you don't get a pop-up, you can go to the Device Hub and say Connect New Device, and then just select the device from here. And when you connect that, you'll see the same thing that I have here. You can see information here about your device. Other stuff that you'll get from this dashboard is the ability to update the firmware on your Edge Scout device. So as new firmware comes available, you will see the option to update your device here. So let's talk a bit about some of the new features that we have in this dashboard. So maybe the most exciting is this geofence feature. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to go ahead and scroll into a prison here in Tennessee to kind of illustrate a good use case for where you might use something like this. So I'm just going to zip in here to this prison system, and I'm just going to simply draw a polygon around this prison. So you can be as precise or as sort of imprecise as you'd like to be. So I'm just going to kind of go around and draw the shape around the prison that I'd like to get notifications for. And we'll just go maybe there. That's perfect. When you close your shape, you're going to see that you get some options for this geofence. I'm going to name this, and I'm just going to name this Prison Watch. And I can disable notifications if they become overwhelming, or if I want to temporarily suspend them without deleting the geofence. You can just disable the geofence. You will not be notified of anything from there. I can go ahead and put my phone number, email. I don't have to put either. You'll get notified in the dashboard. You can always visit your geofences afterward in your geofences list that I'll show you later. You can indicate whether you'd like to be notified when an aircraft enters or leaves or both. And you can exclude known aircraft if you'd like. So for now, I'm just going to have this sent to my email. And if you do enter a phone number, you will receive a text message. So I'm going to submit this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that I have this Prison Watch geofence right here. And I'm going to switch to our satellite view. And I'm going to start our simulator. Now that our device is plugged in and active, I'm just going to fire up my simulator, and we'll see pretty quickly we should receive a new UAS on our map. Now I can come here and see that I have this device. I can see all the perhaps expected information about that right here. I can mark this as a known UAS from right here in this panel. Now what we're going to see is as this aircraft breaches this geofence, we should get a pop-up right here on the web saying, hey, there's been a breach. So we see, hey, your UAS has entered this geofence Prison Watch. I can click on this where it'll bring me to that geofence. Or I was here, I can just click on geofence and see my geofence by clicking this little exclamation to view all of the breaches for that geofence. So from here, I can see when the breach occurred, when the breach exited. In this case, we can see that the UAS has not yet exited the geofence. And I can see the location that it entered and exited if it did exit. And I can see some information about the UAS. Now, you do not have to have the tab open to get notifications. You don't have to, as long as your Edge Scout is connected and streaming, you will receive notifications. That said, I can also click on this UAS and I can view this flight path for this UAS. Now, I will show you what I received from the geofence. So it says I had received a Prison Watch geofence, saw an entry breach on the date and time, and then it gives me a handy link that I can click where I can go in and view. So if I click here, I am directed to right here. And I can see that the point at which it entered, that little flash was of an unexpected error is because I have 2 tabs open and it's not expecting me to, it's trying to read my Edge Scout device from 2 tabs and you can only connect to 1 tab. So in the future, you may only be able to have 1 tab open. We may just log out every session that is that is not the current session. In this case, I can see that all the information about this this geofence. Now, like I mentioned, all of the aircraft, even if I'm not the one that detected this UAS, I'll always be able to go to the aircraft and select it and toggle whether the flight path. So even after the breach has occurred and the aircraft is gone, it will remain here, and I can always select that geofence, and when I do that, it will show me that breach. The only difference really will be that the flight path will be gray if it's not an active flight, but it will still show me the active flight, where it entered, where it exited, the geofence, etc. And that is geofences. Now, as I mentioned, I can give this aircraft a friendly name. I can, if this is an aircraft that I expect to see, or if this is an aircraft that I'm using to demonstrate something or test my own airspace or whatever, I can say my aircraft. And from there, this will be displayed as my aircraft, whatever you name it. And in the geofence, like I mentioned, you can exclude your known aircraft. So if you can say, I would not like to receive notifications from my aircraft. In the event that, say, you are aware of your own aircraft that might be flying within this geofence that you don't want to be alerted for, you could just simply select those and you will not receive any notifications for those. That is it in a nutshell.